and local scene and everything in between. So buckle up and join in on the conversation. It's The Drive.
Don't take no style. Got a thirst for killing. Think about it.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. Those of you that are just tuning in from the Atlanta Braves game, you can go ahead and ask Jim Gum, who's with me today. Once again, I'm Andy Morris. How frustrated I've been just in the past 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, we when the Royals scored that run, the look on Andy's face was like, we did it again. But another wasted pitching performance, and what a job the Braves got on the mound today. I mean, listen, Wentz went 6 2/3 innings. He gave up one hit. He walked 3 guys, had 7 strikeouts, no decision. Just a tremendous pitching performance. And the Royals, give it up to them. They had 9 different guys take the mound. You had Bolin went the 2nd and 3rd inning, but all the other pitchers for the Royals, 1 inning, 0 runs. They gave up a total of 5 hits. But it's another wasted opportunity. This game today was really the Atlanta Braves season in a nutshell.
Yes, it really was. And for Kansas City, it was a scheduled bullpen day. As you said, they used 9 pitchers. Listen, pretty good bullpen day for them.
And they've got a solid bullpen.
They do.
As a whole.
And then going over to our side, the Atlanta Braves side of things, through 9 innings, Dylan Lee comes in, does his job, does a great job, gives up only the 2nd hit of the game by the time Dylan Lee comes in the game, which I believe that was that 8th inning, 9th inning?
8th inning.
8th inning that Dylan Lee came in. And to be in that position and not be able to have any run support, and this is one thing that I said to Jim, and Jim was laughing at me when I said this, because listen, I'm a baseball fan, I'm a Braves fan, we're out of it, not getting in the wild card, not even in the conversation of the division at all. But I still love turning on the Braves and listening to them every day, or turning on the TV and watching them every day that it's possible. I'm just a baseball fan. I love it.
It's the national pastime, and you're the perfect example of why it's called that.
Yes, and listen, I endured 2015, 2016, 2017, those years when all we had kind of going for us was Freddie Freeman, and it was a rebuild completely around him. I was the same way then. But I'll say this. This is what I told Jim, and he laughed at me because it's true. A game like today makes you want to put your fist through some drywall because you look at the pitching performance. You get a good pitching performance from, we've talked about it, the starting rotation. It's a completely different group there's 5 different individuals who are your starting pitchers now than your first 5 from opening day on. And you lose another 1-run game. You lose 1-0 in extra innings off of a ghost runner scoring from second, which
don't get us started on that.
Yes,
that should not be a part of Major League Baseball. Period.
Yeah, it's horrendous. Shouldn't be deciding a game like this where these pitchers went out, laid it on the line. But what I said to Jim is, tomorrow we'll show up, we'll score 12 runs, and we'll win 12-11
because you're going against that Reds pitching staff, right?
That and the fact that also we'll probably give up a bunch of runs tomorrow just because that's the core. It'll be a 12-11 or a 12-10 game, and you'll say, now we win this game. And we couldn't get a run yesterday.
We could have just used 1 or 2 of those runs on Wednesday, right? That'll be one of those things where, if you could just only space them out a little bit better as far as the run support.
Yeah, being a Braves fan right now is tough. But, hey, hang in there because there's brighter days ahead. You could be a Pirates or an A's fan.
You think about this, Andy.
Could be a Marlins fan.
Next year, let's just assume that the Braves don't make any crazy trades, and you got the core of this team back in 2026. You just cannot visualize this many injuries in 2026. This team has been snake bit from April all the way to today. They just can't stay healthy. For crying out loud, they put Ronald Acuna Jr. on the IL as of yesterday with a little bit of a strain in his Achilles. Listen, better it be a strain than a ruptured Achilles.
Yeah, so
right?
This is actually breaking news because those of you that tuned in yesterday, that watched the Braves last night, were aware of the Ronald Acuna Jr. injury. something that he suffered Monday in the game. Listen, he hit a massive home run Monday, then goes first to home. He hurt it on that play.
Oh, I didn't know that. That
Yes,
was where he hurt it.
because
Okay.
he was hustling first to home, and it was announced today that it was, what did they call it, a level one,
grade one or
a
something.
grade 1 sprain, which is best case scenario. So I was very excited to hear that, but nonetheless, 10-day IL for Ronnie Baseball with that Achilles inflammation. They say it's his right Achilles at the top, right where it connects to the calf, lower calf is a little inflamed and sore. And you could see in the game yesterday, which Braves lost the game yesterday 9-6. Not even diving into that one, just giving you the score. But you could, it was just, talk about a gut punch yesterday. You could tell in the outfield, and he even said in his post-game press conference, he was in his mind thinking, don't hit it to me, don't hit it to me. And, of course, that's when they hit it to you. And he said that. Any of you that have played baseball at any level or that have played men's league softball or anything like that, talking to our women listeners out there, any of you that have played the outfield before, whenever something's lingering, a hamstring or something, when you don't want the ball hit your way, it usually comes your way.
That's right.
And he said that, and I thought that was funny that he said that as he wiped tears from his eyes. And he wanted to be out there. He knows he's missed so much time with the ACL stuff. He did not want to miss any more baseball because he figured, hey, I can tough through this and I'm going to be okay. He started kind of hobbling and pulling up and not able to get to some fly balls that he usually gets to. And he looked unhappy when he was pulled from the game, but he was unhappy not because he was getting pulled, because he knew, I've already missed this time and I'm going to have to miss more time.
Well, and the tough thing is, and I know for you, going to Bristol to watch the Braves on Saturday play the Cincinnati Reds, you were looking forward to seeing Ellie De La Cruz, Ronald Acuna Jr. on the same field together. Unfortunately, now Acuna is not going to be available for the Braves, so that takes a little bit away from the Atlanta's from their offensive side of it. And defensively, he's he's one of the better defensive right fielders in baseball, for crying out loud. Not many guys can make a 301-foot throw to nail someone at third base like he did. So
he's a five-tool player.
Yeah, he absolutely is. So you're missing that. You're missing the dynamic at the plate. And it is one of those things where it's just like, of course we're going to miss out on seeing a Ronald Acuna. It's like par for the course. This 2025 season, the Braves are snake big. I believe that in 2026, the Braves will be a much better team because I can't imagine them having this many injuries again next year. I just can't imagine.
And I want to believe you saying that. But do you know what we're saying coming into this year? Surely our rotation's not going to get riddled with injuries like we did last year. Yeah. That was the talking point. And this is what I hate, though. This is like travel ball coaches, moms, dads, you need to look in the mirror for a minute because this stuff is happening all across Major League Baseball. Some of our best pitchers aren't pitching right now because they're on the shelf. Not just Atlanta Braves, all across Major League Baseball. And this didn't used to be a thing. Not to this level, to this extent, the amount of guys that are good pitchers.
I mean, the Dodgers have been ravaged.
Yes. Some of the better teams in baseball, they don't look like what they had on paper to start the season. And it's something we've talked about it on this show. You've got to allow those arms to rest. You've got to encourage those kids to play other sports because it's getting worse every year. And I hope you're right, Jim. I hope 2026, it does sound like the Braves are ready to start adding pieces and filling some holes. Like, we got to figure something out at shortstop. We really do.
Absolutely.
I like Nick Allen. Defensive-wise, if his bat could be somewhat consistent, he's probably your shortstop.
He's a punch and Judy hitter. You can't have that in Major League Baseball in 2025. You got to have a shortstop who's an offensive weapon. Also, you still got to field your position. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But you got to have a guy that can hurt the opposition with the bat. Back in the day, a lot of shortstops were punch and Judy hitters. They didn't have any real pop. These days, this is not the case. You expect your shortstop to be an offensive threat, and just Allen's just not that guy.
Yeah, in a corresponding move with Acuna being transferred over to the 10-day IL, Jared Kelnick, a name we're familiar with, who's been starting consistently down for AAA Gwinnett, was recalled from AAA. Obviously, today there for the Braves and is more than likely going to get some playing time in this Red Series. Might get the start. Not sure for that Speedway Classic game on Saturday. I know that's one thing. My son, huge Jared Kelenic fan, for whatever the reason, loves the guy and said, well, hey, at least Kelnic's going to be there playing. I said, well, yeah, I guess.
I heard Snicker talk about there's going to be a lot of rotating between him and Eli White.
Eli White's
so
been solid.
that's obviously the two of those guys can. I guess it depends on the pitching and the matchup and how they've performed against these particular pitchers. They'll be going against who's going to be out there, but it'll still be a lesser person out there in right field.
Yes.
That's just a fact.
And I do want to say this. We know the trade deadline is approaching. It's tomorrow at 6 p.m. Alex Anthopoulos in what's really a sell year, and be patient because as we get closer to that 6 o'clock deadline tomorrow, you're probably going to see Marcell Ozuna be dealt. You're probably going to see Raciel Iglesias be dealt.
We thought Kelenic would be on that list, but not now.
Not now, because you got to have some outfield depth with Acuna being on the shelf again. But Pierce Johnson, another guy, I wouldn't mind having him stick around. He's still got another year, but he's a guy a lot of people are interested in because he's done his job. He's been pretty solid. The Braves don't want to be in complete sell mode. They don't want to sell the farm. That's not what they're trying to do here. They're not in complete rebuild mode, but the pieces that they are losing control of, a la Iglesias, Ozuna, not going to have those guys after this. Their tenure with the Braves is pretty much up anyway. You try to get something out of them. Right now, Alex Anthopoulos has been active making sure that he's not morale-wise ruining his young pitchers, calling them up. We tried the Didier Fuentes thing. It didn't work.
Right.
He and you could tell he was starting to get rattled a little bit, and they're like, dude, let's take a step back, Didier. You're gonna go back down to get some starts in the minors to get your confidence back up. You've got good stuff. Trust it. But what we're seeing now, just over the past couple of days, we've seen Alex Anthopoulos go out, made a trade with the St. Louis Cardinals for Eric Fetty, giving up a player to be named later. Not a big deal.
Right.
That's pretty good.
He was a pitcher last night, correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
And then yesterday, the Braves traded with the Yankees for a once elite pitcher who's going to be really good for your clubhouse, for your Spanish-speaking players, and that's Carlos Carrasco.
That's right, yeah.
So that was a big one. So what you're trying to do now is get some guys in your clubhouse. You're making trades to bring guys in, but it's because the term that I used 2 days ago was we're limping to the finish line, and we got to have enough arms to get us there. And I hate Jacob's not here today because I was ready to have him talk a little trash as I was venting here. Jacob's a Braves fan too.
He is.
But he doesn't wear it like I wear it.
You're a diehard, and you're a throwback when it comes to people that pay attention to Major League Baseball.
Hardees is hiring.
Hey, Hardees, big sponsor here for the drive.
I was a lot like that when I was younger too. My fandom is still there, but I don't live and die like you do. And I admire that.
I'm dying right now, man.
I know you are. And I love that. I love the passion that you have each and every day with the Braves. You know they're not making the postseason this year. But, man, when the Royals scored that 10th inning run, you could see the air just you were deflated and deflated for about 5 seconds.
We're throwing out D words. I was disgusted.
Yes, he was
There it was.
disgusted.
Hey, listen, on that topic with Alex Anthopoulos, what the Braves front office is trying to do, today the Braves made another trade. I don't know if you heard about this one, Jim. Traded with the Colorado Rockies for right-handed
I saw
pitcher
that.
Tyler Kinley. The Rockies received double-A right-handed pitcher Austin Smith. Kinley's a free agent at the end of the year. Has a $5 million club option for 2026. So if he's a fit, comes in pitch as well, Braves can pick up that option and keep him around. They may need to, depending on what the market looks like this offseason and being able to put together a healthy rotation, a healthy bullpen. So Alex Anthopoulos continues to do his job, and we're going to see some stuff happen where we might get some young guys that are capable of playing shortstop or some young guys that are going to be promising starting pitchers. But we're going to see a fan favorite in Marcell Ozuna. And Raciel Iglesias hasn't been as much of a fan favorite this year because he's not been as consistent. but he's still got good stuff, and he's going to help a bullpen somewhere. And I expect those two guys for sure to be moved before the 6 o'clock deadline tomorrow.
I do too. And the one thing the Braves are not going to do, they're not going to mortgage the future for 2025. They're looking towards 2026, having their core guys back, having everyone healthy, because I believe that they feel strongly there in Atlanta that this was an aberration this season, that this is not truly who we really are. I think they're going to give this core, I'd say probably 70% of this core is coming back next year. Wouldn't you say?
Yes. At the end of the day, right now the frustration, the injuries is, you think, starting a rotation. You're going to have a healthy Spencer Strider back, which he's starting the Speedway Classic game this Saturday. It's going to be having that guy on the mound is going to be fun for that event, for the popularity of just that single baseball game. But you've got him coming back. He's going to be a lot healthier. This year's was a build-back year for him coming off the Tommy John surgery. You're going to have Chris Sale back, who won a Cy Young a year ago and was in the conversation this year until he had another injury.
He dove, tried to make that play.
And it was a hustle play. I'm all for that injury. You hate it happen.
It's not a real arm. It's a
rib.
You know,
yeah.
so
Ribs heal, and you come back and
he'll be fine.
that guy's been around forever. He's going to be the same guy. So you've got two guys right there. The thing I worry about, Grant Holmes is another guy who we kind of started wrapping our brain around. Hey, this guy's going to be one of the big pitchers for us. More than likely, he's going to be on the shelf all of next year. Mm-hmm. That's something that's kind of slowly came out over the past few days. It's going to be unfortunate. You've got A.J. Smith-Shaver, who's in the same situation.
I really like that guy.
Same here. That guy probably not going to be available next year, depending on what he's already had surgery, but like at what point is he available? So the starting pitching, you've got two really good guys up front, but you've got to add over the offseason. So this deadline might show you might add a guy that's going to be your 5 starter for next year.
Yep.
So a lot can still be seen as let me catch my breath here. Vinton, Atlanta Braves, just very frustrating, but hopefully some good can come out of it.
That's true. I am so looking forward, though, to this Reds and Braves series. Obviously, I'm a Cincinnati guy. The Reds, by the way, they made a pretty good trade today. They got that Gold Glove third baseman from the Pirates, Hayes. So he's going to – listen, there was some talk about getting Suarez from the Diamondbacks. Unfortunately, that did not happen. Of course, he started his career in Cincinnati, and there was a lot of talk about him. But Brian Hayes with the Pirates goes to Cincinnati, so I'm sure he'll be there during this series. So it'll be fun to watch this. Listen, the Reds and Braves are a good it's a decent rivalry. It's not a great rivalry.
It's a wholesome rivalry.
It's a good, solid rivalry. They were in the NL West forever.
Yeah.
And so I used to go down to Atlanta, watch the Reds play all the time. And of course, I've gone to Cincinnati, seen them a million times up there too. But I'm excited about this series. Listen, it's a great way for the Braves to kind of showcase what they still have on their roster, and for the Reds, it's an opportunity to stay in the playoff hunt.
Yes, and I just got a tweet in here. I still call it a tweet. Is that okay?
I still call it a tweet. You're not going to say, I got an X.
Just got an X post. That sounds like a dirty post or something, doesn't it?
Sounds like, hello.
Just got a post on X from Atlanta Braves beat writer for The Athletic, Dave O'Brien, saying that there's no timetable for return for Acuna. With a guy that plays like him that's a speed guy, you don't want to rush those things. But it does sound like once the Braves are comfortable, he'll be back playing this season. So luckily for us Braves fans, could have been a lot worse. It's not. But tomorrow's game, starting that series with the Reds, as Jim just alluded to, big game Saturday up in Bristol for the Speedway Classic. Glad Jacob's not here to push that button every time we say Speedway Classic. But the game tomorrow starts at 7:10. Right now, the Braves have Carlos Carrasco listed as the potential starter, but they have not officially announced a starter for tomorrow's game. Was able to hear that for a second on the postgame show before we came on. So, and then the Cincinnati Reds, Andrew Abbott, who's 8-1, having a good year for the Cincinnati Reds.
Season.
2.09 ERA. So running into that tomorrow, that's what the offense gets to see after not being able to score a run today. Man, it never ends.
Then Friday, what's the game time on Friday? I know
it's an early game. I believe it's like a noon.
It's an early game.
It's 12:40.
Because they got to get all their gear together, both teams, and go down to a facility that's not designed for baseball. So I'm sure they're loading up a lot more gear than typically they would take. I'm sure a lot of the stuff the Braves are taking has already been shipped over there to, Bristol. The Reds are going to have to scurry and get all their stuff from Great America Ballpark down there to Bristol. And then as the Reds and Braves convene down there, they'll have all their stuff, if you will.
Yeah, so there was a rumor today, and I didn't really pay attention to catch it, but with Acuna being out, someone said that he was going to go ahead and fly up and be there waiting on the team just to kind of hang out.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
Hang out in the dugout in his boot,
Yep.
letting that Achilles heel up.
Yep.
But, yeah, so Braves, Reds starting tomorrow. Again, what did we just say for that first pitch? 7:10 first pitch.
7:10.
Yeah, 7:10 first pitch tomorrow. Carlos Carrasco currently listed as the Braves starter, but we will see. That's where our rotation is at this point in 2025.
TBA, to be announced.
That's right. You'll be able to listen to that game on Mix 104.1 and pre- and post-game coverage right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3, presented by Mountain View Nissan. So, hey, Braves segment out of the way.
Yep.
Frustration. I'm letting it go right now.
You are letting it go, but I just wish we'd had a camera on you when the Royals scored that game. You could just see the look on your face was like, oh.
It's hard.
It's deflating. It really is.
When you invest it in, so I started off on the TV broadcast watching the game, came over to the radio, was listening to it in my car on the way here, got here to the station. We're listening to it in the station. And when you invest that much time of your day into a ball game, for it to be a ghost runner scoring to beat you in the 10th inning.
I got to tell our listeners out there, Andy comes in here and he's like, hey, man, our speaker in the studio is not working. So we had to figure out what was going on. We got it working. I mean, this guy lives and breathes with every pitch that the Atlanta Braves play. So I love it. I love the passion. I wish everyone was like that as far as baseball, because I love baseball. To me, it's a great sport. To me, it's the most individualized team sport, if you know what I'm saying. Because when you're in that batter's box, it's you versus that pitcher. Your teammates can't help you. They can't give you an assist. They can't throw you the ball. That's what I love about baseball. It is a team sport, but it's an individual sport inside of a team sport. I love it. It's so unique.
Especially when you talk about pitchers. What is it? The most lonely place on earth is sometimes up there on the pitcher's mound, especially when you don't have your best stuff. And obviously being a wrestling coach, former wrestler, I kind of relate those two. Like, that's you. No one can help you when you're up there.
That's right.
And I love that aspect of it. But, hey, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Got a lot to talk about. Going to have Ocoee Middle head football coach John Weiss entering his first year this year. We were able to talk with him earlier in the summer. He's got some big stuff coming up for the Colt football team, and going to talk about a little bit of I believe a jamboree that they've got going on tomorrow up at Walker Valley High School. So going to be joined by Coach John Weiss, once again, of Ocoee Middle. Going to talk about this Boo Carter situation. So I didn't get to listen yesterday. Did you and Jacob touch on this?
Yeah, we touched on it, and then this morning I talked about it on the on Mixed Mornings and stuff like that. So, yeah, you and I will dive a little bit more into that.
We will. All right here on The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
When you're craving serious burger goodness, head to Hardees for the all-new barbecued pulled pork Frisco burger. A char-broiled, quarter-pound, 100% Angus beef patty, topped with 16 hours slow-smoked barbecued pulled pork on toasted sourdough. Only for a limited time at Hardees. Get a free pulled pork Frisco burger when you download the app and join My Rewards. See app for terms.
Hip or knee pain holding you back? There's a new reason to feel hopeful. Dr. Andrew Carlone is now part of the team at Center for Sports Medicine and Orthopedics in Cleveland. He brings advanced training in total hip and knee replacement, including minimally invasive techniques that get you back on your feet faster. Let Cleveland's orthopedic experts help you live your best life. Call 423-624-2696 or go to sportmed.com to book your visit now.
Have you seen what happens when a weed eater gets too close to vinyl siding? Ouch! Choose steel siding from Best Buy Metals, available in board and batten and lap siding options. Permanent siding from Best Buy Metals is custom manufactured to the half-inch for a perfect fit. Stop by a showroom or go to bestbuymetalroof.com to learn how you can protect your structure.
Don Ledford Chevrolet's summer upgrade sales event is going on now through the end of July. You'll get tremendous discounts and factory rebates on their entire inventory of Chevrolet pickups and SUVs. Listen to these two great purchase deals. Find stock number 26002, a 2026 Chevrolet Equinox. 1LT SUV model with an MSRP of $34,355 for just $28,175. That's over $2,000 in savings on a new 2026 model. Take home stock number 25050. A 2025 Silverado 1500 LT 4x4 Crew Cab with the All-Star and C71 packages that has an MSRP of $63,720 for only $52,355. That's over $11,300 in savings, or 18% off on a truck that you don't want to miss. Special leasing options available as well. Come in today and save big. Don Ledford Chevrolet, North Lee Highway, Cleveland. DonLedford.com for details and a trade assistance coupon. Don Ledford Chevrolet, where they say yes. Chevrolet, together let's drive. Wholesale prices include qualifying rebates, plus tax, tag, and title, and dealer fee of $649. Must take delivery by July 31st, 2025.
Do you suffer from unsightly leg veins? Are your legs turning brown or swelling? Do your legs feel heavy, tired, or achy? Do you have restless legs or leg cramps disturbing your sleep? These symptoms are signs of bad veins. Dr. James Gooden at Milligan Vein offers an office treatment that can make you look and feel better, and your procedure is covered by most insurance. Find more information online at milliganvein.com or call Dr. Gooden today at 423-961-5682 and get rid of those bad veins.
Camping in the Cherokee Forest, rafting the Ocoee, hang glide off Lookout. Summer's here, and Honda Cleveland has the Honda to take you on your next great adventure. Save $5,000 off on your choice of 25 Accord or CRV Hybrid. $5,000 off. Or you can choose 2.99% financing. Either way, you'll see why KBB.com has named Honda America's best value brand. You can saddle up a new Ridgeline pickup too, with financing as low as 0.99% for 60 months. That'll save you hundreds in financing. And if you need service, parts, or tires, Honda Cleveland can help. Get the work completed now, just in time for summer adventures, and pay over time with up to 3 months interest-free, with no hard credit check and a 90% approval rate. It's easy, convenient, and stress-free. Summer's here, and we're your ticket to ride. Honda Cleveland, your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
You are listening to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. I hope everyone out there is having a good Wednesday. Hey, Duracell is now hiring mechanical skilled technicians, $22 to $27 per hour. Excellent benefits beginning day one. Medical, dental, vision insurance, paid vacation, holiday pay, 401k, tuition reimbursement, and more. Apply now at Duracell.com. That's Duracell.com.
Once again, welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Also got to put this out there. The exclusive home of ESPN Radio in Cleveland and Chattanooga is ESPN Cleveland 101.3. It's never been easier to listen. Download the free ESPN Cleveland 101.3 app from our website or the App Store. Also, ESPN Cleveland 1013.com. Pretty good website we got set up there as well. So you guys will be able to tune in and listen to these great interviews that we have, like the one we're about to have right now with new Ocoee Middle head football coach John Weiss. Coach Weiss, how's it going, man?
It's going great, guys. How you guys doing?
Doing well. Glad to have you with us today. And I understand. Listen, we had you on a few weeks ago. Once you got hired, got the job, and just the enthusiasm, the excitement coming from you was off the chart, as it always is. Anyone who knows John Weiss knows this guy brings the energy. But at this point, you're a few weeks in. I followed along on the social media pages with Ocoee and you, and it looks like you're having the time of your life, first of all. But it looks like these boys are excited about the football season that's coming up.
Well, that's what it is. I mean, it feels like I know it's just a few weeks, and you say it's a few weeks, but the time that we spent here, I came from a program that the hashtag and the motto was outwork everyone, and I believe that wholeheartedly. So I've been up here at Ocoee Middle or Walker Valley because, we're feeding right into them, and Coach Akins and I are working hand in hand building a program from top to bottom and then bottom to top as it should be. But I've been up here about 5 to 6 days a week and truly just doing the outwork everyone mantra. So those few weeks have seemed a long time from now, but now we're ready for the season, and we got a scrimmage tomorrow, which we're excited about. Pads are finally on, and we're excited. The boys had a fantastic practice today. Knock on wood, make sure it transfers over to tomorrow. But we're excited.
Coach, expectations are a lot to do with coaching, especially your first year with these guys. I know you probably had some expectations for certain players. Has anybody surprised you that you were not expecting a lot from, but maybe he's surprised you in a positive way?
Man, I'll tell you what. So, you come into this program and, they had Ocoee had a really good run right around 2020, 2021, 2022. They went 6-2, 8-0, and then 6-2. But then they've dropped off since, and they went 0-8 and 0-7. So, they're coming off. This group of eighth graders have not had a win in their middle school career. So the expectations, they set them low, but I set them high. I told them, while we haven't won anything yet, our expectation level is to win and, compete and be aggressive on the field. Individually, I tell you what, these kids have grown massively. Some of the seventh graders have stepped up. Great. Let's see. Daniel Mansell at center and linebacker. Kane Hedrick at receiver. He even stepped up into an eighth grade role a couple times during the 7-on-7 stuff and made some huge plays for us. Levi Steve, another seventh grader standout. One seventh grader that's actually moved all the way up to the varsity level. Cam Moses. This kid is huge and massive. I told him he needs to part the Red Sea like his name said. So, and we'll be waiting on the other side. So, that eighth grade bunch is hungry. I'll tell you that. They are hungry. They're excited. The seventh graders, they're kind of working into it, and they're learning what work is. But this eighth grade bunch, Colin Wilson, Hezekiah Thomas, JJ, Francisco, and there's so many names. Brody Pesky, Parker Smith. They're hungry for that win and to go out there. Drew Gibson, watch out for that kid. Woo, he's a worker. He's a worker right there. And these kids are workers. They want to get after it. They want to work and win. So I'm excited to be around this bunch. I'm feeding off their energy, and I think they're trying to feed off mine. So it's just reciprocating back and forth.
Well, I said it in a joking manner, but you constantly bring the energy, and I think this is going to be a great fit for you, a great fit for Ocoee Middle School. You leading the football program over there with that energy, and I'm excited to see how things work out for you guys this season. I do think it's going to be a positive turnaround from the past couple seasons, as you alluded to. And one thing that we talked about the last time we were able to interview after you took the job was you're putting together a coaching staff, and you mentioned Colin Wilson. We know the kid has been on a baseball diamond for his entire life, great baseball player, also got some very valuable experience on the gridiron last year as a seventh grader. He's one of the eighth graders you just mentioned. But I want to talk about his dad for a second, the head baseball coach at Ocoee Middle School, a guy who's led that elite baseball program for many years. I love the fact, and you said this on our last interview, you said that you were going to get him to come help you out and get on the sidelines, and it sounds like that's happened.
It happened. I went fishing.
That's that energy, man. That's it.
I went fishing. I caught a big one, and I tell you what, John did exactly what I thought John would do. He's brought a mentorship and John is, and I'm saying this, he's actually in the room. He just walked in, and he's sitting there red-faced right now because he's embarrassed, but it's great.
You can tell him it's my fault.
It's all Andy's fault, Coach. All right? He said he believes it. But, John did exactly what I thought John would do. John's very close to these young men, and he acts as another father figure for them. And then he got those kids that play baseball only, and then now they're out as well. So that just adds depth, like a Noah Locklear, a Brody. So these kids, Parker, was hesitant about it. Now he's back out playing football. So these are all kids that have played for John on the diamond, and now they're excited to play for him and hopefully the rest of the coaching staff on the gridiron, and we're excited to see it because I'm telling you, John dove head first into football now too. He and Colin were up at high school practice last night till about 9:30, just watching the high school go after their fall camp after putting in a day of work with us too. So it's exciting to see. It's exciting to see just that vertical alignment, from Glenn Ryan down at the youth league to me, and then obviously Drew Akins and Tyler Pope and all those guys up at the high school, J.D. Dunbar running the weight room up there. All these pieces are falling into place now to help build a culture from top to bottom and then bottom to top.
So when you're doing this scrimmage / game tomorrow, will you be on the field with the players, or will you be doing this strictly from the sidelines?
I, myself, am going to try to do it. I'm going to leave it up to the other team's coaches what they want. I'm trying to prep our kids for our first game, which is in 2 weeks against Silverdale. So I'm going to try to do everything off to the side. My offensive line coach will probably be behind the huddle just to make sure all the pass protections and people and splits are lined up perfectly and everything else. But I'm going to be calling everything from the sideline. What we're actually got to do, we got a cool format for tomorrow. We have Sweetwater and East Ham coming up, so we have a three-way scrimmage going. 30-minute running clock, so East Ham and Sweetwater are going to start off against each other. Then your Coe Colts are going to take the field against East Ham, and then afterwards we'll finish up with Sweetwater. So every game gets a 30-minute running clock, and we're just going to go from there.
And listen, are you guys?
It's not.
Go ahead.
It's not the traditional 10-on-10. We're driving. We're going to drive the field. Just no special teams this week.
Gotcha.
Oh, good.
And are you guys charging a gate? Can you let our listeners know how they can come watch or what they can do to get in?
Absolutely. 6 o'clock, come on. If it's heat advisory, we might have to push it back, but hopefully the heat worked out well for us today. Hopefully it's supposed to drop tomorrow. $5 is all we're asking. Okay, just $5. And we'll have some waters there. If you want something other than waters, bring it yourself. If you want some snacks or foods, bring that too. Make it a picnic style. All right, set up. But just $5 come in, watch a little bit of football. I know people are getting itchy about some football, and it's football time in Tennessee, so it's a great time.
No, that itch has definitely started here on the drive. We've been talking NFL, college, high school, and of course now you guys are kind of leading off for everybody for the fall with middle school football getting started once again tomorrow. And as long as the heat's not an issue, you said solid 7 o'clock start time?
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
Start time.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll push it back to 7 if we need to. And I'll post that on our Facebook page, my Facebook page, and obviously a Cody Middle School Football Facebook page as well. That'll be posted on there, so go follow either me or the Cody football page. We're building momentum, like you alluded to, and the energy. This group, from winning nothing over the last 2 years, had a fantastic 7-on-7 season, going 8-1-1 over the summer. Won the FCA tournament right before dead period, going a perfect 5-0, and then just continued on. So we're building momentum, and hopefully it carries over now that pads are on.
Coach Weiss, man, we appreciate you joining the show. Definitely want to have you back on once the season gets started to get an update on how the Colts are doing.
Absolutely. Anytime, guys, I'm a phone call away, especially for the exclusive ESPN provider for Chattanooga and Cleveland area.
That's it. You nailed it.
Thanks, Coach.
Hey, I appreciate you guys.
All right.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Once again, John Weiss, head football coach of Ocoee Middle School. Real quick, got to get this in. Speaking of Coach Weiss, turn your freezer into your own personal ice cream shop with Mayfield Dairy's latest products, the Sunday Delights ice cream cups. We know Coach Weiss keeps those on stock there at his house. He's a big ice cream guy just like me. Now available in 5 flavors: peanut butter candy pieces, cookies and cream, original chocolate fudge, original caramel, and original fudge. Learn more at MayfieldDairy.com, which, by the way, Mayfield Dairy, big-time supporters of the Atlanta Braves, regardless of how bad they're playing, right here on the drive.
That's right. The ice cream tastes the same, win or lose. Isn't that right?
That's it. Hey, great interview there with Ocoee Middle School head football coach John Weiss. And Coach Weiss reached out to us and wanted to get the information for that scrimmage tomorrow out there, 6 o'clock, Walker Valley High School.
$5, man. That's nothing.
Yeah.
That's nothing.
Go out, support these young men, and enjoy. Listen, we talked about the football itch. It's getting started right now. Listen, we're going to have to get Coach Barber at Cleveland Middle on with us. We got to get in contact with him.
We need to get people out there tailgating, man. Come on.
Might as well.
Bring your grill, bring some hot dogs, and have a time out there.
It's been a while. Yeah, definitely need to get Lake Forest and Cleveland Middle on here as well, and
absolutely
talk about them, because I know that itch is real. Football season right around the corner. 2 weeks for these middle school programs. That's wild that we're there, but excited for it. Hey, you're listening to The Drive on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. When we come back, we're going to talk a little college football, a little Boo Carter. Little Boo. Listen, Boo's been in the news, and it's not been too little. It's been a pretty big deal. We're going to talk about it when we come back right here on ESPN Cleveland.
The Drive will be back after a quick timeout. Stay tuned for more nonstop sports talk on The Drive, presented by Hardees.
A financial advisor can only have one first loyalty, and at Alon Planning Partners, ours is to you. That's why we and our team of independent fiduciary advisors work to create comprehensive plans that bring stability and peace of mind. We don't just help you get to retirement, we want to ensure that you get through retirement. So call us today for your personalized complimentary planning session, 423-315-1441, or visit alonplanning.com, ALLON planning.com to schedule your appointment today.
Investment advisory services offered through Foundations Investment Advisors, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is John Davis, the trade-in man for Kia of Cleveland, and I need your help. We're under construction, and I've got cars everywhere. I've got them in the grass, down the street. We need to get these cars where they belong, in your driveway. So we're rolling them out of here at whatever price it takes. Bring us any trade in any condition, and we will give you $7,000 more than Kelley Blue Book fair value toward the purchase of any new Kia, Telluride, Sorrento, or Sportage. Yes, $7,000 more than your trade is worth. Are you a credit challenged car buyer? That's okay. At Kia Cleveland, our lenders will say yes to you and yes to your situation. Remember, I'll be any deal from anywhere in Georgia, Tennessee, or Alabama. So if you want $7,000 more than your trade is worth, come see me, John Davis, at Kia Cleveland on South Lee Highway in beautiful Cleveland, Tennessee, where trading your car is as easy as 1, 2, 3.
Looking for the dealer who's gonna give you more. Kia of Cleveland Superstore.
Offer subject to lender approval. Expires month end.
KiaofCleveland.com.
Hey Cleveland, are you suffering from fatigue, low sex drive, or just not feeling like yourself? Optimize You is the answer that you have been looking for. Our team is here to listen and help you become the best version of yourself again. So find us online at OptimizeYouCenters.com. That's OptimizeYouCenters.com.
ESPN Cleveland 101.3 is powered by Duracell.
Not all composite decking is the same. Enjoy life's beautiful moments on an equally beautiful composite deck. Envision's products feature deep, non-repeating grains and distinct colors throughout each pour, offering a truly unique appearance unlike anything else on the market. Learn more and find inspiration for your project at Cleveland Plywood. Cleveland Plywood Company, 2700 20th Street Northeast in Cleveland. Cleveland Tire Center for over 45 years with the best name in tires: Bridgestone, Firestone, Goodyear, and Michelin. Northley Highway, Cleveland. Cleveland Tire Center, where the name says it all.
Camping in the Cherokee Forest, rafting the Ocoee, hang glide off Lookout. Summer's here, and Honda Cleveland has the Honda to take you on your next great adventure. Save $5,000 off on your choice of 25 Accord or CRV Hybrid. $5,000 off. Or you can choose 2.99% financing. Either way, you'll see why KBB.com has named Honda America's best value brand. You can saddle up a new Ridgeline pickup too, with financing as low as 0.99% for 60 months. That'll save you hundreds in financing. And if you need service, parts, or tires, Honda Cleveland can help. Get the work completed now just in time for summer adventures and pay over time with up to 3 months interest-free with no hard credit check and a 90% approval rate. It's easy, convenient, and stress-free. Summer's here, and we're your ticket to ride. Honda Cleveland, your car, your way, every day. I-75 exit 20, 1 mile east. Hope to see you soon.
You bleed orange. You never miss a Vols game. But when's the last time you showed that same pride in your smile? At Magnolia Dental Center of Cleveland, we treat every patient like it's 4th and goal. Fast, tough, and no-nonsense care. Just like the way Tennessee plays. Cleanings, repairs, full-on restorations. We'll get you back in the game. Magnolia Dental Center, proudly serving Vol Nation, one winning smile at a time. Call 423-476-3307 or visit MagnoliaDentalCenterofCleveland.com to schedule an appointment today. The new home for ESPN Radio is ESPN Cleveland 1013. Welcome back to The Drive, presented by Hardees. Join the conversation. Text 423-749-1013. You can also listen anywhere on our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
Welcome back to The Drive here on ESPN Cleveland. The exclusive home of ESPN Radio in Cleveland and Chattanooga is right here, ESPN Cleveland 1013. It's never been easier to listen. Download the free ESPN Cleveland 1013 app from our website, ESPNCleveland1013.com.
You know, I just saw an interesting little tidbit that it's possible that Ozuna could be... The Reds have a little interest in acquiring a DH.
Uh-oh.
Could you imagine?
Might just be walking across the racetrack.
He
here.
might be walking across the racetrack. Wouldn't that be ironic to see Ozuna?
Well, it would have to happen. Deadline's tomorrow at 6, so it would have to happen tomorrow.
Up in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati.
Great American, yeah. But, yeah, could you imagine? Isn't that ironic? I just saw that. Now, obviously, that's all just rumor and speculation, but I thought that was interesting because, you know, we were talking about Ozuna, probably his last stance with the Braves because the trade deadline is 6 o'clock tomorrow, like almost about 24 hours away. And, you know, I don't know. Like I said, the Reds are interested in a DH. Now, I'm just sitting there going, putting 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. And listen, I've heard a lot of people, before we dive into our Boo Carter conversation in college football, I've heard a lot of people say, why do we drag our feet? Why do these GMs wait till right at the deadline? And just to give a little insight, I was listening to Jim Bowden today, who's a former GM.
Of the Reds.
Yes.
Yeah, Jim Bowden.
And very successful GM, put together some really good teams over the years. And he said this is the process. And as I'm explaining this, I'll use the DH as the position. If I'm Alex Anthopoulos, and let's pretend the Braves, let's just say we're the Reds. The Reds are in the mix. They're trying to make the postseason, but they need a DH. They have a short list. They have a 1, 2, and 3 of DHs that they feel like are attainable. So they're available by their teams that they're on currently. Marcell Ozuna being one of those. So Ozuna might be their number 3 on the list. Or he might be their number 1. I don't know. It depends. There might be a better guy they have on the table. But the going rate for those guys kind of change as the demand changes as you approach that trade deadline. So the GM of the Reds currently might call Alex Anthopoulos and say, hey, you know, where do we stand on Marcell Ozuna? And Alex Anthopoulos might say, listen, we're willing to trade him to you, but we want this, this, and this. And he might hang up the phone, pick up the phone, call the Kansas City Royals, who just beat the Braves 1-0 today. Dang, still frustrated about that. And Kansas City Royals might say, well, listen, we'll give you this guy, and all we want is this and this. So right now that might be a better offer of what you're having to give up.
Absolutely.
But you might get a better DH than Marcell Ozuna. So they're weighing those things out to see. Once that first move happens, though, once one of those
dominoes.
guys, once one of those guys come off your short list, the dominoes fall. And then that's when they say, hey, we need to pull the trigger on this Ozuna deal. We need to get Marcell Ozuna. They'll call Alex Anthopoulos, and Alex Anthopoulos, knowing that there's only 30 minutes left till the deadline, might say, well, we need this too. Go ahead and throw that in as well. And sometimes teams do that. Sometimes they get frustrated. They say, you're going to play us like that. You're going to play us dirty. Listen, watch the movie Moneyball. Brad Pitt, great example
movie.
of how
Love
a GM operates. Yeah. But anyway, got a quick giveaway for you here. The event, if you want to go be frustrated, we've got some Braves Marlins tickets right here. Listen, Marlins are putting together, I trashed them earlier in the show.
They're playing pretty decent this year.
The problem is they're not. Next year they're going to be cellar dwellers once again. They do not do anything to better their franchise year after year. But they've got some good young talent that they're probably at some point going to get rid of, unfortunately, for the few Marlins fans that are out there. But we've got tickets to the Braves Marlins, and that game is Saturday, August 9th. We've got 4 tickets, and we're giving them away today. All you've got to do is text the Volunteer Ridapest phone line at 423-749-1013 and put your name. Be sure to put your name for those Braves Marlins tickets for Saturday, August 9th. Your name and Braves tickets.
Yeah, and that'd be fun to go down there. One of the last times you go see the Braves this year. But now we're going to switch gears and talk a little Boo Carter. Obviously, yesterday, Heupel did say that Boo Carter is on the team. There's not going to be suspended, but he has to earn himself back into the good graces on the team, because right now he is not participating in football activities. He's doing things, whatever those things are, to earn his good graces to where he can be back on the field. And listen, we've talked about this. This kid has the opportunity to do what Travis Hunter did some last year with Colorado, play on both sides of the ball and on special teams. He's got the ability. We've seen him. We saw him here in Bradley County just tearing it up. We know he's got the ability. We saw what he could do last year. Was all SEC freshman on the defensive side of things. Now, can he translate it to the offense? But he's got to see the field. He's got to get the reps in. And right now he's not getting reps in. He's got to hurry up and do it. Whatever it takes for him to get on the field, he needs to do it. He needs to do it quickly.
So, of course, yesterday you and Jacob had a really good soundbite from the interview, the press conference with Josh Heupel, and regarding this whole situation with Boo Carter. Obviously, great interview yesterday with Phil Steele. It was my wife's birthday, so I took off and let Jim and Jacob handle the rest of that, the Boo Carter conversation. So I may repeat some of the stuff for those of you that listened to yesterday's show. I might repeat some of that, not knowing you guys had covered it. But kind of going back, some light has been shined on the situation. First of all, Boo Carter was present today at workouts. He was in his jersey and his shorts. The rest of the team had their helmets on. Boo did not. He's going to have to earn his helmet back. And that's going back to some good old high school football coach's mentality, where you talk to your team and say, listen, this guy could help us. Where do you stand with him? And you want to make sure your team's on board with the decision you make as a coach, because you can lose a locker room really quick. If a situation has went off the deep end to where the players are done, they don't want a teammate. It sounds like that's not entirely the case in Knoxville.
Yep.
The silver lining to all this is this can be a really good learning experience for Boo Carter to be able to come back and eventually look at this one day and say, you know what, maybe I didn't do things right. And so, to where he can take some accountability in the situation.
And maybe he could become a leader.
Exactly.
Long term, by going through what he's going through right now.
Yes, and as you said, he's got the talent. This guy could be a Heisman candidate. He's that talented of a football player.
I mean, Andy, we both have been around a long time, and we've seen a lot of great athletes play football. He's the best football player I've ever seen at Bradley High School. And I'm telling you, I've seen some really good players at Bradley Central High School.
Yeah.
Boo Carter doesn't take a backseat to anyone as far as the athletic ability and what he could do on the field. He is that good. And so we saw him play offense and defense and special teams. I mean, and he dominated all three. I mean, all three phases.
And so to go back to what kind of stemmed all this, there's been so much speculation and false allegations, true allegations of what actually happened. At some point, Boo was missing some workouts, and I guess from his teammates' perspective, wasn't it things that he should have been at? His attitude when he was around was I'm better than you attitude that some of the senior, older leadership on that team, they felt like, and this is coming from those guys, they had already experienced this with James Pierce. Phenomenal defensive lineman, defensive edge rusher for Tennessee, who's now with the Atlanta Falcons, which, by the way, he's been in 2 fist fights already down at Falcons camp.
That's not good.
He's having to learn a hard lesson down there, and the NFL guys aren't going to tolerate it.
No, they won't.
So, listen, great player. Pierce was a phenomenal player, but probably didn't get as much out of him last year as you would have wanted to. That's something that he was kind of used, I guess, marginally.
Right.
Didn't log a ton of snaps as far as a guy that's in there every single play goes.
James Pierce had, top 10 pick written all over him this time last year.
He did.
And it just didn't translate. I mean, he had an okay year. I think Tennessee fans were disappointed in him based on all the expectations. And the expectations for Boo Carter are probably just as high.
Yes, that leadership didn't want to experience that type of relationship again, up and down, just frustration. They want everyone. They want that locker room united. They want it, especially after the Nico stuff. We go back to it. We say it a lot, but they want to move on from that. They don't want to experience that again. So this locker room is trying to hold Boo Carter accountable. What I like about Josh Heupel is he meets with his leadership, meets with his team. He's giving Boo an opportunity to make things right, and it seems like Boo's ready to do that.
Well, and I'm sure that Boo's doing things that he doesn't want to do today and tomorrow and the next day. But I'll bet you by this time next week, I think we'll see Boo Carter in full workout mode, helmet, get all the gear on, and I think he'll earn his place back in the good graces, not with only just the coaching staff, but his own teammates.
The good thing is he realizes he needs to do that. And listen, Boo got his feelings hurt a little bit. There was some accountability put on him that he wasn't ready to deal with. It sounds like he's ready to deal with it now.
Absolutely.
So
for sure.
Excited that Tennessee has been able to salvage Boo Carter being a part of this program, because I think it's good for both of them, and I'm excited to see his impact on the field here in the fall. I don't think that's going to change how good of a player he is and his effect on Saturday. So excited about that. As we continue to hear more on that story, we'll drop it.
Absolutely.
And get it out there. But, hey, listen, Finish Line Radio coming up next right here on ESPN Cleveland 101.3. Those guys are going to have you covered. I'm trying to remember. We got Elijah in the building with us today. Do you know what this weekend is, the race? It's like the 350. I can't even remember what it is. They're going to talk about it on
Just
Finish
listen
Line.
to Finish Line Radio.
That's it. That's why they're there. You've been listening to The Drive. Frustrated Braves fan here, Andy Morris. And Jim Gum, Reds fan. We're out.
Yep.